Hello, it's Cyn, my brother. So it's been a while, but I'm gonna do a little short excerpt here. Hello, it's your girl, Miss Cyn, in the house. Anyways, today we're gonna be doing a glow up pick a card reading. You get to choose between nails, hair, face. Stay tuned. Watch the whole entire video to get the whole entire glow up process. I believe how this video is going to be fleshing out is I'm going to be doing 3 piles or 3 sections, and each section represents inner transformation, outer transformation, and how both sectors create your whole entire outcome. So probably there's going to be 2 piles per section, a total of 6 piles. 6 piles for me to read, 2 piles for you to choose out of per section. And I hope you like it. Sorry for the glare. Your girl is gonna go take a shower now and start the makeup transformation when I come back. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. We're going to the Korean hair salon down in Koreatown. It's been a whole year since I had my hair cut, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm gonna get some life back into this hair. So I'll see you after the haircut. Hello, so this is the piles we're going to start with when it comes to internal transformation. We are starting off with hair, which represents, for this pile of 3 piles, inner transformation. So here are 2 piles we can select from, pile number 1 and pile number 2. This is pile number 1, crystal. So I have my haircut now and it feels so good. Like honestly, I feel like my hair, I can breathe. Like when wind blows through it, it doesn't feel like ratchet and scraggly like it's a used broom. It's so smooth. She ironed it out. I'm just so glad. I feel like I can breathe again. I just feel so refreshed, like a different person. A whole year's worth of haircut.
Guys, a moment to select which pile when it comes to your inner transformation, and we will move forward. Hello everybody, how's it going? So I wanted to set the premises of this pick a card reading for you all to know it is more so an intentional manifestation type of reading as opposed to a prediction type of reading. And the reason why I want to emphasize on that is because as much fun as it is to have your life predicted, it is just as important and powerful to realize how in control we are of our lives and how we can manifest the life we want. So these pick a card readings that you're going to have going through today, that you'll be going through today with me, is more so the path you have chosen to take and how you can bring it into fruition. So a lot of the channel messages here are golden nuggets on how you can make this life a reality for yourself, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna go and continue and go into the reading. These are the piles to select. All right, pile number 1. For our inner transformation, this will be your reading. The inner transformation that will be taking place for you. I feel and hear the words empowerment. I also hear the word self-righteousness. I don't think it comes from like a snobby, snooty perspective, but rather realizing your entitlement and where others end, drawing the line of where others end and where you begin, and knowing your rights and your power as an individual and who you are this lifetime. That is your inner transformation. So I see the Judgment card here. I feel like that becomes the judgment of yourself. You will no longer be giving away the power for someone else to be predicting or to dictate, I hear, you as someone who's either of good intention or bad, or what you are doing would be right or wrong. You're going to come to conclusion and understand deeper your motives and what drives you this lifetime, and you're going to be your own judge to decide and determine whether or not something you do is of your truth, aligning with your truth, and is serving you on your path and your journey and the destination of where you're aiming to go towards, versus what other people's agendas for you are. So this will also include inner transformation for you to reflect and think a lot about what others have handed to you this lifetime, what you view as important, what you thought was important, the truth you took from other people, the truth you bought into and took and integrated into yourself, and now you're extracting that. And you're filtering and discerning between your personal truths versus the truths of others. And you're taking ones that serve you, the ones that really hold truth and speak to your inner soul, and letting go and putting aside the ones that don't speak to you and that you feel does not resonate or really help aid you in your journey with your growth and the path you're meant to be on this lifetime. You're also changing the way you see yourself, which is a very beautiful thing. You're doing, it's almost like a visual activity that like a lot of people who go through physical therapy does. They do something called like it's like a form of imagination practice, where even at the time someone who's going through physical therapy is physically limited to what they can and cannot do, they visualize and they go through a storyline in their head of how everything will feel like in all their senses and touch and movements, and they run that through their head of what it would feel like when they're doing a certain activity or sport or practice. So when the time comes where their body is capable and able and is fully healed to integrate this into action, their mind is already prepared. So you're doing that sort of visualization of yourself right now, and I see this clay as you reshaping and remolding the way you view yourself. You're taking apart things like these cups here. I feel like you're taking apart the pieces that people have given to you that are no longer part of you, and you're taking the remnants of the clay that you felt really are yours before you attached other people's cups, metaphorical truths and cups onto you, and you're remolding that, and you're recreating who you feel you truly are deep down inside. And these are your guides helping you with that, pushing you in the direction of seeing the true clarity of who you are. So that's very beautiful. You're becoming your own judge and dictator of what you feel is right or wrong for you, because you know your story best. You're taking authority and initiative and clarifying and deepening your focus on what you want to prioritize moving forward, what you want to take with you, what you will not stand for, what are your new boundaries and standards for people in your life, how you choose to accept yourself, your inner boundaries as well. And you're choosing and to discern what to let go of when it comes to other people's truths versus your own truth. And you're taking that with you, and you're using what you believe in and what has been always stable, always consistent, that inner truth that has been consistent for you at the end of the day. And you're using those tools to recreate a new way that you perceive yourself moving forward. All right, that was pretty straightforward. This is your inner transformation reading for pile number 1. we're going to go and move on to pile number 2's inner transformation. So for those of you who chose pile number 1, you are free to continue watching to the second pile, or you may click on to the next excerpt of nails, which is the outer transformation. Okay, so we're going to analyze and see how your inner transformation is going to integrate and interact with your outer transformation. I'll see you there. Hello, for those of you who chose pile number 2 for hair inner transformation, we're going to be looking into what you are going to be going through internally for your glow up. All right, pile number 2's inner transformation, please. Okay, there's going to be a lot of past burdens that you're going to be dropping, which is good. I do sense a lot of self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others, and letting bygones be bygones and leaving the past in the past. So you're energetically, internally sorting yourself out. You're discerning between what is happening right now in the present versus knowing the difference between what's happening in the future, or what will be happening in the future, and what has been in the past, and you're not mumbling it up anymore. So probably for some time, you guys for pile number 2 may have been depressed or going through a lot of thinking, a lot of deep thought, and you must have gone through something really hard, because 10 of Wands is like carrying a lot of internal struggles and burdens, possibly of others as well, because we see the Chariot card here, right? But that card indicates like a lot of people in your car. So perhaps you were taking on a lot of responsibilities that you didn't need to, or you didn't have to, and it wasn't really rightfully yours, but maybe perhaps you felt obligated to. And you're seeing the difference between that. You're seeing where you have to take care of yourself and where the responsibility of other people's begin. And you're also discerning things that happened in the past that you regret, you are letting go of because you're forgiving. You're no longer needing to hold on to the past, nor do you feel there is a direct impact or relevance to how your past has a play with your current present, because you realize your present, you are more empowered than any other time in your life to have a new fresh start. Ace of Pentacles. All right, let's leave that. Yeah, you're taking a really good hard look at yourself, and you're like, who am I? When do I begin? When do these other people in my life end, and when do I begin? And you're really honing in on that. What are my responsibilities, and what is within my self-control? What are my worries to concern myself with, and what are the burdens that I need to leave behind that are no longer and never was part of my responsibility to begin with? Oh, look, this is beautiful. 4 of Pentacles. You're looking inside. You're looking at what you have. You're looking at your existing goods, your preserves, your jams, whatever it is that you have created and collected and put in the back burner in case you needed it. You're tapping into your own reserves to see, what are my potentials? What are my strengths? What are my hidden abilities? What are my talents? What am I capable of? Who am I? And you're really taking that time right now to learn a lot more about yourself. And your guides are really helping you discover that. They're leading you down a road of finding out your strength and your weaknesses, and how even your weaknesses plays a factor on contributing and being a benefit for your overall growth. And how other people's opinions or other people's concerns and worries and burdens, you're learning how to let go and love them with tough love, to allow them to learn their lessons and strengthen their own being with their own intention and efforts, because you now have to go fill your own cup. That's really great. So you're dropping burdens, you're forgiving yourself, you know the difference between where you start and where others where the others end and where you begin. You're really seeing yourself for the first time, and you're prioritizing yourself, and you're taking the time to learn more about yourself and deepening your relationship with who you are, and getting to learn and know yourself, and even discover and explore the world with yourself for the first time. And this is going to be the mark of the new transition of your internal transformation. Okay, pile number 2. So you are more than welcome to go click on over to the nails excerpt and select a pile from the nails category to find out about your outer transformation and how your outer transformation will interact and correlate with your internal transformation. Okay, so I'll see you over there. Hey, so we're on to the nails section of the glow up. I haven't decided what I want to do in terms of how to do my nails. So they've grown pretty long, as you can see, and I need to go and repaint them again because they've grown out. The nail polish, I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can there you go. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, you have now arrived to the nails aspect of our reading. So this excerpt of nails discusses and delves deeper into our outer transformation, how our inner transformation leads for us to manifest into fruition what our outer world and outer reality looks like. All right, so here in front of you are pile number 1 and pile number 2. This is pile number 1. And this is pile number 2. All right, so I'll give you a moment to choose your pile before we get right into it. All right, those of you who have chosen pile number 1 for nails, outer transformation, this is your reading. Pile number 1, nails, outer transformation, please. Outer transformation reading, pile number 1. Outer transformation. All right, so I see a really big correlation here between inner and outer, which is beautiful, exactly what we had talked about and intended for the reading for. You see here, the high priestess is somebody who is connecting with their mirror self. So it's like their higher self, the more ethereal self, and their physical self. So for pile number 1, I meant section 2 for nails. We're talking about nails, which is outer transformation. Your outer transformation is your physical self, right? And the first reading, on the first half of the reading, it was discussing about inner transformation, which is the internal self. So the ethereal self, the intangible aspects of you are now integrating with the physical aspects of who you are in this 3D physical realm. So that's really wonderful, and you are beginning to connect yourself with your higher self at all times. Like, you're really fully aware, pile number 1, when you're living your day-to-day life, you're constantly connecting to your higher self, your ethereal self, your inner self, and you're checking in to see how you feel about that. You're constantly asking, how do I feel about this? Is this what I want moving forward? Is it serving me? Am I going down the path that I want that is honoring how I really feel? Is it bringing me deeper inner fulfillment? Right? I also sense that you may be teaching this to others around you as you're discovering this empowerment in this form of personal practice on finding yourself, as well as even choosing more consciously the type of company you seek, the company you keep, the type of people you prioritize and you value, who gets to be around in your energetic aura, who gets to be with your within your living physical vicinity. Some of you too, for pile number 1, are also integrating this new found perspective of yourself, and you're expressing that into your creative endeavors, whether that be physically, like literally painting and art, or something more expressive, like another form of creativity, like the way you present yourself, that way you speak, the way you dress yourself. Some of you may be starting to explore colors when it comes to your wardrobe, when it comes to your makeup, exploring using colors and textures to express yourself, to explore and expand on the different multifaceted aspects of your physical appearance. And you're using that to reflect and bring out your internalized emotions of who you feel you are deep down inside. That's really amazing. All right. So that is pile number 1 here. We're going to move on to pile number 2. I will see you guys over in the face section, the face excerpt, which integrates how and explains how both your inner and outer transformation, how that will look like in your overall day-to-day life, and how other people will perceive that, okay? I'll see you over there. All right, pile number 2 for nails. Welcome to your outer transformation reading. Pile number 2, nails. Outer transformation reading, please. Outer transformation reading. All right. So for pile number 2, who chose nails section, this is your outer transformation reading. What I see is you exploring a lot of your career aspects. Pile number 2, you're very career driven, you're very passion driven, you're purpose driven, and how you have integrated your internal aspect and have gone through your internal transformation, you're now manifesting it into the aspects of your physical realm of deciding whether or not what you're doing, where you're spending your time in, how you're earning your money, how you're contributing your energy to the world. Is it something that brings you fulfillment? Do you feel it brings fulfillment to the world? Do you feel like it really fills a need or a niche, or does it fulfill a reservoir here of what really needs to be brought to this world? And you're really bringing your own career and your life purpose into question. You're thinking back onto all the times where you have contributed and where you've taken, when people have given to you and when you have given back in return, and how you feel and you believe that has affected those around you, those who you have crossed paths with, as well as those who have contributed to you, and how that has impacted or affected your life, whether big or small. That is a very, very insightful way to perceive pile number 2. I also feel a deeper sense of gratitude for your day-to-day living. You're becoming more aware of what you do have in your physical realm, the things you have access to resource-wise, the food you eat every day, the home you live in, and you're becoming more grateful, and you're practicing ownership, like honoring that, and you're making your space clean and tidy, and you're celebrating your physical surroundings, you're celebrating what you have, and you're also thinking about all the things you have had and you've brought along with yourself internally and physically, when it comes to translation into knowledge and how you've applied that knowledge, or health and health practices or other sort of practices, how that has carried into your life and brought you to who you are and where you are now, where you want to take that moving forward, what sort of energy and time you want to invest in, and what aspect of this world, this lifetime, in that little corner of your world that you want to grow and support. So I do sense a lot of humanitarian vibes from this reading for pile number 2, who chose outer transformation nails. Some of you might even be choosing to quit your job, leave your existing job, and start a whole new, I hear like adventure or new venture into working for another cause or another corporation, or like a form of possibly even nonprofit, or even working with, I hear telecommunications that helps with strengthening, helping those in less fortunate countries that are not born of a first world country that may need help from you. That is very beautiful. So that's how you're taking your inner transformation and how that's manifesting to your outer transformation. You're taking care of your physical surroundings. You're cleaning up more. You're being more grateful for what you already have. And you think about how you can use that and how you've taken everything and accumulated over the years, both physically and emotionally and mentally, moving forward. All right, so this is the reading for those who chose pile number 2 for nails, for outer transformation. You now can go over to the face excerpt to see how both your internal and external transformation is going to correlate to your day-to-day living. Okay, I'll see you over there. So they're dry. You can tell they need a second coat. Streaky. Hey, I'm back. My hair is now washed. I had a nice shower. We're gonna go fast forward with my hair blow drying and onto makeup. Over voice Cyn, take over. Hello to those who have now come to the face aspect or excerpt part of the reading. These are the 2 items you can select between, moving around, pile number 1 and pile number 2. I chose a lighter because this is the fire of our life, the fire that drives us, right? Fire is one of the elements we need to survive in this world, and it creates a lot. It's a spark for many things. It's the source of our inspirations and our passion and our purpose. So anyways, aside from getting too symbolical and deep into reason why I chose a lighter, here is your choice, okay? Pile number 1. For how your internal and external transformations will correlate with one another and create your overall bigger picture of your day-to-day life, okay? Here's pile number 2. All right. So now you may choose. All right, we're gonna go to pile number 1. Pile number 1, face. How the 2 inner and outer transformation integrates and looks like in our world on a day-to-day life basis. Pile number 1 for face, please, Spirit. How will their inner and external transformation look like in the world, in the real world? Pile number 1 for face. How both internal and external. Okay, so how others will perceive you and how you might even come across or be like for a little short period of time, pile number 1, when you come into integrating both your internal and external world, is that it's gonna look like there is, I'm laughing because it's gonna be exciting and funny with the way how people see you anyways, but it's a good thing. So look. Some might perceive you as being confused or lost in your thoughts. And some of you guys might get, what is that word? Decision fatigue, or like you kind of get overwhelmed with what to do. And some of you might even have to go through trials and errors of your internal integration, your internal transformation, and testing that out into your outer transformation, your outer world. And you might feel like you're hitting against a wall, but the truth is you're not. You're making a lot of progress. This is how you may be feeling as you're going through this, because growth and change does have a lot to do with trial and error and exploration of oneself, right? So you may be feeling like this on the emotional level, but on the physical level, this is what you're looking like. And what that will result in on your day-to-day life is you finding more balance. Day-to-day life, you're going to practice more of pacing yourself, seeing what you can take on or not. And because you're honoring yourself and you're honoring how you feel and you're testing it out and you're trying it out, you're going to constantly be going through a phase of like a form of incubation, a form of integration, and a form of silence. It seems like you're kind of keeping to yourself a little bit more. But the truth is, the reason why people think you're keeping to yourself more is because you're just spending your time and energy with more select people and individuals and people you feel are really truly serving you. And those people who are getting less of your energy, possibly because there might be energy vampires, or they're just really part of the people that you're letting go and they're not moving forward in your life and they're gonna get upset. That's the part where I was laughing about. They're going to try to create a little bit of conflict and guilt trip you as why you may not be helping them anymore, or you may not be there and spending time with them as much anymore, and maybe you're not like complaining and like ranting with them and having a sad people club or whatever it is that you used to. But this is going to bring you back into further contemplation about thinking whether or not these people really are good for you moving forward. The more they push against you, the more you're going to pause and reflect and be like, how can I fit them into my life? Can I fit them into my life? Do they make me happy in life, or they add to my stress? Okay, I'm going to go and test it out in the physical world. I'm going to maybe invite them into places and see how they interact with my new life, or the way I present myself, or the way I see myself, or the way I behave and act. Are they going to hold me back? And then after testing it, you're going to go into a reflection state, and you're going to practice your health and take care of you're going to be more attuned with your own personal regimes, health regimes and beauty regimes. And as you're doing that, you're going to go through a form of self-reflection and think, well, I invited them out today. Did it go as well as I thought it would? I would hope it would. Do they have potential to show me that they can grow alongside me? Some might. See, you see some are pretty calm and they're like, well, they're not necessarily ignoring us. Maybe they're going through some stuff. And this person's like, no, they're not. They're lying. Whatever their own personal traumas are being brought to the surface. This person and this person may not be ready to follow you and grow alongside you, but these two might. And that is how your day-to-day life is going to start looking like once your internal and your external transformation starts taking place, all right? So thank you so much for watching pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading in this style of nails, hair, nails, and face glow up / pick a card reading. And if you like more of this, please feel free to subscribe and join the community. It would be a pleasure to have you. And aside from that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hello, pile number 2. For those of you who have chosen pile number 2 for face, this is how your world of both the two inner transformation and outer transformation integrates, and how it's going to look in your world on a day-to-day basis. All right, pile number 2, face reading, please, on how their world's going to look like. Oh, focus, please, on a day-to-day basis. Number 2, face, how their world's going to look like on a day-to-day basis. I'm feeling something powerful coming here. It's like a cultivation conjuring of this energy bubbling up. I'm not quite ready to come out yet, but that's because it's going to be like a tsunami once it comes out. All right, I'm going to shuffle for one more. Pile number 2. For face, I dare say that for whoever chose this pile, you're going to go through a form of spiritual awakening. Because for some of the piles I did read earlier, when it comes to face, or nails, sorry, it did say humanitarian vibes, right? And if you didn't choose the pile that say that, you're welcome to go read the other piles or listen to it, because of course this reading and pick a card reading is not just more like it's not just an energy prediction reading, but more so a tool to help you manifest the life that you actually do want. So you can use these readings that I'm doing right here for this whole entire video as a form of manifesting, finding that mantra, and taking these golden little nuggets as like a step-by-step guide on how you can actually integrate these lessons and bring them into fruition, into having the ideal life that you do want to live. Okay, so anywho, those of you who chose pile number 2 for face, I do sense that it does tie in with the previous piles, but either way, I'm just going to say it. You're going to be letting go of a lot of past burdens and pain and forgive yourself. You might even reconcile, not necessarily in the sense where you're going to reconcile with your romantic life, but people who have hurt you or you have hurt in the past, you might go and write them an apology letter. You might resolve things within yourself, very much like that Netflix TV show called To All the Boys I've Loved Before, like that form of confrontation with your past. And it's going to bring in a lot of release. You might even strengthen old relationships or friendships, or it might even inspire and propel you into creating new friendships because you're letting go of old preconceived notions and beliefs of what your capability of, or what you're capable of, or what your limitations are, or what kind of people you think would or would not be compatible or even want to be your friend. You're dropping all those false illusions of yourself and what other people. Hi, pile number 2 for face. I was reading you guys midway and my phone died, so I'm just going to repeat what I said and carry on the channeling. Okay, so I was basically saying, for those of you who chose pile number 2 for face, on how both your internal and outer transformation will correlate into integrating with your world, basically your real world in your day-to-day life basis. And I was saying how I feel like a large number of you guys who have chosen this pile number 2 for face is going to go through some form of spiritual awakening. And that's because in some previous piles, it does mention that some of you guys have a really strong vibe of humanitarianism, of wanting to contribute to this world and leave a positive footprint in our world of our human lineage within your lifetime, right? And so I do feel the energy carrying on over here. I also sense that for those of you, some of you are actually forgiving and dropping burdens of the past. You might even go and write letters and reconcile and connect with your past. You may not necessarily reconcile in the sense of like getting back into a relationship with someone on the romantic aspect per se, but you definitely are doing a lot of forgiving, and so are they. And basically closing and tying up loose ends in the past that really felt like you grew from, and you've learned a lot from since, and you wanted to say your sorries, and you wanted to maybe give certain acknowledgement to certain people. Those of you who had a decent ending of friendship per se. I'm not pointing about those who are super toxic and abusive or violent or anything that causes you physical harm, okay? And this will lead to a form of celebration of friendship, whether or not you might be strengthening old friendships and bringing it into the future, or you might even be manifesting new connections because, as I said, the way you perceived yourself with your internal transformation fell away. You don't think that certain people in your life or certain people that crosses your path would be too cool for you to be friends with, or that you don't get along or you wouldn't get along with certain people. You don't have that sort of limiting mindset about yourself anymore. I did refer back to the movie from Netflix called To All the Boys I've Loved Before, where they send a message, right? You're confronting your past, and you're contacting and you're reaching out to people whom you've had a past with, and you wanted to, even if they don't respond back, you wanted to say your sorries, or you wanted to let them know your realizations before you move forward in your life. And because you've dropped your burdens of your past, of how you saw yourself, you don't ridicule yourself. You don't shame yourself, nor limit off the possibilities of certain connections that come into your life, you don't think, oh, they are like so much more handsome or beautiful than me, they would never talk to someone like me, or they are so much more successful or dress well. You don't think that at all. You actually open yourself up to the possibilities, which allows you to manifest and creates new connections. And all of these past burdens that you had, you're gonna drop them, you're gonna filter throughout them. Okay, people are going to see that it seems like you've changed a lot, and maybe a lot of them might feel betrayed or confused. Like suddenly a lot of people feel like you're too busy for them, but shortly after they will realize what you're really doing is you're living your best life. You are going after your best life, and you're not settling for nothing but the very best, which is the very top. And these people around you will shortly after realize, in order to be in your life and to stay in your life, they're going to have to strive after the same thing, to be in the same path. Just like that, same path, to strive for the same thing as you. And that's how they will stay in your life. Otherwise, they'll fall by the wayside, and that's okay. That's not their path to take. Because your path is to spiritual awakening, to bring more light and goodness to humanity, and to contribute to make the world a better place. And that's why you're aspiring for, and you're holding such high standards, not only for yourself, but for those who are in your life. And you're saying your goodbyes, and you're putting your closures, you're tying up loose ends of people who had contributed to your growth, both internal and external. And how that looks like in the real world day-to-day basis is you're going to set new standards and priorities moving forward, and new goals and aspirations, and other people are going to think you think you're too good for them, or you're too busy for them. But they're going to drop that sort of egoistic way of perceiving you and realize that's because you are seeing the bigger picture. You're striving for something bigger than yourself this lifetime. And they either will choose to become inspired and come alongside with you to grow on this journey, to support you and grow alongside you, or they will fall away to the wayside, and you will continue going on through this journey of contributing this beautiful inner transformation and outer transformation, and teaching that to other people as well. All right, so that concludes our reading for Face for pile number 2. I certainly do hope you enjoyed it, and if you do like it and you have not already, you are more than welcome to subscribe and follow and be part of this family. It would be an absolute pleasure to have you. Aside from that, I really do hope you enjoyed this type of reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! That concludes our pick a card reading glow up video. I hope you enjoyed what you saw and you liked everything that I attempted to do. And if you have any suggestions for me, or if there was a favorite moment in the video, be sure to let me know. Or if the reading resonated with you, I would love to hear how it did so. If you are enjoying what you see here and you like my vibe, you are more than welcome to give a follow, like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.